All right, let's get to it. NFL Wildcard Weekend Picks. Let's get wild against the spread. 4 tough games. We're going to break it down. We just broke it down before. We're going to make the picks now. And what I think is going to be one of the more competitive wildcard rounds we've seen. We're going to start it off 4:30 this afternoon. Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Chiefs favored by 8.5. And this one's interesting for a lot of different reasons. And I said this before. I'm not a big fan of Kansas City. I'm not a big fan of Alex Smith. I'm not a big fan of Andy Reid. I've seen them try to win the playoffs before. It's not pretty. Tennessee, I mean, their defense has been lackluster as of late. I think this has been Marcus Mariota's worst year as a pro so far. No DeMarco Murray in this game, which I think is going to be a huge factor whether you like Derrick Henry or not. But at the end of the day, it's a tough game to pick. So then it comes down to where it's being played. It's in Kansas City. It's in Arrowhead, which is a pit to play in. And I think at the end of the day, I think this game goes to Kansas City. I think they make enough plays to get the job done. Look for Tyreek Hill. Look for Kareem Hunt. I think Alex Smith makes enough plays. I think the defense holds off Mariota and that Tennessee offense. I will take the Chiefs to winning and cover the 8.5-point spread and advance to the AFC divisional round. Later on tonight, the Atlanta Falcons at the Los Angeles Rams, with the Rams favored by 5.5. This one's interesting. You have the Rams in the playoffs for the first time since, I believe, 2004 against the Falcons. The Falcons, of course, are defending NFC champions, who I think have a lot to prove in this playoff. They did everything possible to get and find their way and come back into this playoff. I think Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are going to make a lot of big plays. I think the Rams' defense is going to be making some huge plays. I think Jared Goff will find his weapons in Sammy Watkins, Cooper Kupp. I think Todd Gurley's going to have a good game despite what you may want to think. It's really going to come down to who out-coaches the other, and I think Sean McVay is the better head coach when it comes to him and Dan Quinn. It's going to be a close game. Close enough where I'm going to take the Falcons with the 5.5 points. But I will take the Rams to win a close battle and advance to the NFC divisional round next week. The Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a game we've waited ages for. Both these teams in the playoffs, they face off tomorrow with the Jags favored by 8.5. Interesting spread. I'm going to take it. I like it. I like the Jaguars. I think Blake Bortles will do enough to get the job done. I think when it comes down to Tyrod Taylor, I think he's going to have a long day in Jacksonville tomorrow dealing with that defense. Saxonville, I think, is going to be all over the place. I think even with LaShawn McCoy playing, he is unhealthy. He's hurt. I think that's going to play a big factor in this one. The Bills have some good weapons on defense, but I don't think it's enough to get it done. I think the Jags have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and I think it's going to show tomorrow when they own Tyrod Taylor tomorrow. I like the spread. I will take the Jags to win and cover and advance to the AFC divisional round. Finally, what I called earlier the dogfight to the death. It is the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Winner take all this year. Because the regular season doesn't matter. It's all about right now. And the Saints favored in the Dome by 6.5. This is a tough one. It's in the Dome, so I like the Saints. I think the Panthers are going to come out and play hard. I think if the Panthers' running game can get some momentum going, I think the Saints are in trouble. Because last week we saw Cam Newton's worst. I don't expect any better. I've said all year long that the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL. You saw it last week against the Falcons, and then you saw it the week before against Tampa. So, this is an interesting one. But when it comes right down to it, you have Kamara, you have Ingram, the best duo, running back duo in the National Football League this year, I'd like to say. You have Drew Brees, when called upon, can still make that long throw down the field for a win. You have a New Orleans defense, even with injuries, has improved by dramatic numbers this year alone. In the beginning of the year, we weren't so sure that if this defense had to go out and win them a playoff game. This year, I'm confident that at least against the Panthers, against Cam Newton, against that offensive line, and against that passing game, they can get the job done, and I think they will get the job done. It's a tough spread. I think it's going to be a close game. I will take the Panthers with the points. I'll take them with the 6.5. But I will take the Saints to win the fight of the year against the Panthers and advance to the NFC divisional round next week.